curve. Slapped to third. Nice pickup by Ramirez. He spikes the throw, but it's in time. Wow, what a play by Aramis Ramirez to get Reyes for the first out.
Well, defense, defense, defense. And with Reyes' speed, he knows he's got to hustle here. And this is not an easy pick. Darrell Ward has made some nice plays in this series at first base. But that's a beautiful backhand.
So one tough out, and here's Damian Easley and takes the curve inside. You know, you used to see that bounce throw all the time on artificial turf.
Yes.
But I wouldn't think anybody would do that on purpose on grass, would they?
If you can't make the throw, I would much rather get a long hop. And a lot of guys do it here, and this is a long hop. You don't like it on a wet day because the grass is wet and the ball will scoot. But I'd much rather get a long hop, Gary. If an infielder felt more comfortable throwing me a long hop, that's a piece of cake. That's like catching a regular throw.
Even on grass.
Even on grass.
And Easley walks on 4 pitches. The first given up by Rich Hill.
The center fielder, Carlos Beltran.
Willie Randolph going over and talking to Jorge Sosa after he came in the last inning.
Something about his motion, Ron?
Or I think he would let Rick Peterson talk about his motion. I bet you he's telling him he might be tipping off his pitches a little bit, or maybe Willie has seen something where he's tipping off one of his pitches because he was describing how he's standing on the rubber at one point and standing on a different point. So
it looked like he was saying from the stretch.
Yeah, old hitters will see that. They look for that kind of thing. None better than your buddy of mine, Rusty Staub.
Now, what I find fascinating about that is that teams will obviously look for signs from the opposite team, but are they looking at their own players too to pick things up?
Absolutely, absolutely. I used to get Rusty to watch me. I said, Rusty, I think I might be tipping off my pitches. See if I am. And he would watch me.
Beltran lines a base hit. Easley to second. Soriano cuts it off, and Easley will hold right there. Beltran with a scorcher, and the Mets have their 4th hit of the night.
Well, we're talking about how much better Beltran is hitting from the right side this year. It's a ball he probably would rather go the other way, but he's more of a pull hitter right-handed. That pitch was outside, but boy, he stayed nice and level.
Soriano almost ran past that ball.
It's an adventure out there in left field.
He's thrown a runner out at home, and he's dropped the pop-up.
So here's Delgado with 2 aboard. Carlos struck out on the curveball his first time up. And he gets the fastball, and he holds up.
Well, here's Soriano knowing he has to hurry to cut it out. Oh, boy.
It's not the way they teach you, is it?
And it's wet out there, too.
Yeah.
Never visits to the mound for Michael Barrett, who has spent considerable time out there with Rich Hill tonight.
Well, I think it's a good time for him to talk to this young pitcher, Rich Hill. It's just like, okay, runners on base, don't. The first fastball run was upstairs.
Yes.
Hey, stay within yourself. Don't try to do too much.
Infield playing pretty much straight up against Delgado, more so than usual. And it's 2-0 to Carlos.
Sometimes you can get out of sorts with a young pitcher just because of it's a long rain delay. I mean, 3-hour rain delay. Although Rich Hill grew up in Massachusetts, pitched at University of Michigan. He's pitched in some bad weather before.
Now he's behind Delgado, 3-0. A walk would fill the bases for David Wright. Now, if you've been struggling like Delgado, you more inclined to think about swinging 3-0?
Not with the left-hand pitcher out there. I think I would lefty-lefty matchup. I'd put the take on.
And he takes a strike, 3-1.
Now it's important that when you get a 3-0 pitch, don't just sit there and lollygag up the plate. Take your stride like you're going to hit it, so you get a good look at the ball.
On 3-1, Delgado dribbles it foul.
Carlos
Carlos has just been out in front all year. Look at his feet here. You see, he's out in front, and watch. He's not hitting the ball out here instead of up here, up at the plate. And that's been his problem this year.
3-2. The runners hold. Inside ball 4, and the bases are loaded for David Wright. Second walk of the inning issued by Rich Hill. Pinella saw his team lose a game on walks on Monday night.
Third baseman, David Wright.
So a big opportunity for David, who had his 7-game hitting streak stopped last night. Rounded out to third base his first trip tonight. Rich Hill, 27 years old. Cubs have been waiting for him for a couple of years, and he has finally emerged this season. But in a jam right now. David pounds one foul. A Wolverine from the University of Michigan, by way of Milton, Mass.
Another lefty, Mark Mulder, the St. Louis Cardinals from University of Michigan.
Never liked those football helmets.
Popped up. Terrio retreats. Makes the catch. Here comes Easley trying to score, and the throw not in time. That's the second time on this homestand we've seen a player alertly score from third base on a pop up to the second baseman. This time it goes in favor of the Mets.
Watch Terrio here. The mistake he makes is he's calling it off. Watch him call it off early. There's a runner on third base. Don't backpedal. I know it's a tough play, but he's in no position to throw, and you would hope that Cliff Floyd can come in and make this play, but Cliff is playing way too deep. That's a tough chance, but you just don't want to get backpedaled. Start backpedaling.
You know, Willie Randolph was talking about that same play with Ruben Gotay on Saturday, that as a young player, you've got to learn that you have to sprint out for that ball to get yourself in better position. The runners go, the pitch up high, Barrett's throw not in time, a double steal for Beltran and Delgado, and why wouldn't you throw the ball to second base? You got Beltran stealing third and Delgado going to second.
Well, second baseman's covering second, too. And I just think it's a surprise. The surprise. Let's see if they would have had Delgado.
Maybe not.
Maybe not is right.
Now the walk LaDuca to refill the bases. So Delgado gets a rare bag. Beltran's 6th of the year and his first in a while. For Delgado, his first stolen base since 2002. 5 years.
Just hasn't had the opportunity, Gary.
Just hasn't had Beltran stealing in front of him.
We're going to watch. Not a big lead. Just the speed. Now, excuse me. There's so many Carloses in his lineup. Beltran has said in the paper that he's fought through his tender quad, and right there is a good sign that he's feeling pretty good in his legs.
Lou says put LaDuca on to face Green, who had a base hit to left his first time up. Mets with a 2-0 lead and looking for more. And the curveball is for a strike. That jellied the leg.
Boy, he's got a nice hook. 71-mile-an-hour curveball, it says in the stadium. That's a slow hook.
Bases loaded. Pulled him down to first base and handled by Ward. They'll take it to the bag to end the inning, but the Mets tack on a run, easily scoring from third on David Wright's sacrifice fly to the second baseman. Delgado with his first steal in 5 years, and the Mets are up 2-0.
Baseball. It's about loyalty.
It's about dedication.
It's about being champions.
Tradition.
It's about never giving up.
It's about never giving up.
Never ever.
It's about the ballpark.
It's about superstition.
It's about recognition. It's about heroes.
It's about friendships.
It's about family.
It's about teammates.
It's about history.
It's about doing what it takes to win.
Authentic Major League Baseball jerseys, hats, and accessories, all at Dick's Sporting Goods. For a complete lineup, visit dicksportinggoods.com.
Now with a 2-0 lead for Jorge Sosa on our Kia Wednesday game of the week, which will soon be the Kia Thursday morning game of the week. It's a little late for cotton candy, isn't it?
Oh. Wow.
She's just trying to stay up with that sugar.
That'll get her up. Here's Soriano leading off, and he pulls it down to right and makes a nice backhand play. And Delgado off the bag for the tag. 1 out. Superb play by David Wright to get Soriano.
Well, yes. It's right, one step to his right. Nice backhand. Delgado makes a nice tag on the throw a little up the line. But this saves a double right there.
That's the kind of tag where you can hurt your arm.
Yeah.
Strike to Aramis Ramirez, who was taking all the way or something.
Yeah. Now, Ramirez has a lot of, for lack of a better word, style to his type of play. When he popped up in his first at bat, he didn't run it out. I don't know.
You hate that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that, you know, that kind of body language you don't need.
You know, it's always played that way.
Yeah.
2-2 to Ramirez. Well, you would think with Piniella as his manager that stuff wouldn't go over real well for a long period of time.
Give him a year. Give him a couple of years.
Well,
I mean, Ramirez is going to be there. He just signed a 5-year deal. The center field, Beltran retreating. 2 out.
just a little bit of an uppercut right there. Got it in enough to get him.
Wasn't sure whether he should run or not.
Yeah.
Just run.
Yeah, and you know, as we're saying that, I mean, the ball was blistered. He's got tremendous talent. Saw that great defensive play. Saw that line drive to center right there. But it's a different. It's a better way to go about your business. How about that?
Daryl Ward takes ball one. Well, haven't we seen the same with Miguel Cabrera?
Yeah.
Similar kind of approach.
The problem with Cabrera is that he's the oldest, not the oldest guy, but he's the senior guy on that young Florida team. So.
Yeah, but Ramirez has enough stripes as far as time in the big leagues, and and like Gary said, you know, you got a guy signed to a 5-year deal. You know, sometimes management doesn't support the manager.
In hard, easily to his left, can't make the play. Time to recover, throws wide and off the bag. Delgado, and safe at first is Ward. Now Easley had more time than he thought he did, but he made the errant throw, and Delgado couldn't hold the bag.
Well, he just opened the floodgates too early, recovered nicely.
The catcher, Michael Barrett.
The throw is not that bad, and the footwork by Delgado there at first base. He's not in a position right there to make the throw, but we know that Carlos is.
Wait a second, did he have him?
Let's see.
I'm not sure. Michael Barrett swings and misses. Well, they've charged an error on Easley on the throw. See if we get a better angle on that foot.
Might be on that bag, huh?
Could be. Easley with another opportunity. Handles this one cleanly, and that ends the inning. So Sosa works around the 2-out error, and he's still got the lead, 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the fourth.
The 2007 baseball. It's about loyalty.
It's about dedication.
It's about being champions.
Tradition.
It's about never giving up. It's about never giving up. Never ever. It's about the ballpark.
It's about superstition.
It's about recognition. It's about heroes.
It's about friendships.
It's about family.
It's about teammates.
It's about history.
It's about doing what it takes to win.
Authentic Major League Baseball jerseys, hats, and accessories, all at Dick's Sporting Goods. For a complete lineup, visit dicksportinggoods.com.
Hey, Mickey.
That's right. That was me with the. Is it Basil or Tony Basil?
I think you got it right.
Basil, yeah.
Perfectly.
She was a songwriter. That was her only hit as a singer.
A medley of her greatest hit. Carlos Gomez drove in his first big league run with a bloop single in the second. Thinks about a bunt. Takes ball one from Hill. Gomez is now a 500 hitter in the big leagues, 3 for 6. Keep that up. Go to the Hall of Fame. Corners are in against him. He fights that one off. 1-1.
Well, we're going to show you the last play right here. Now, watch, they've got to freeze it, guys. See how he's fronted to the second baseman. You want to have your right foot straddling the bag. And he's a right-handed thrower. And, excuse me, it would be my backhand. So my left foot would be on the bag. And I would stride out with my right foot. My left foot would be on the bag. Now, he is a right-hand thrower. He's got to stretch with the forehand. It's difficult to say, but the footwork wasn't that great there. He wasn't straddling the bag.
And hard caught by Ramirez. What a play! Second outstanding play in the field by Aramis Ramirez as he took a double away from Carlos Gomez.
Well, that's just great play we've seen now. The third fine play by the third baseman tonight in this ball game. 2 by Ramirez, 1 by Wright. And this takes away a double, a second double of the year it would have been for young Carlos Gomez.
Also, I think because of that big curveball that comes down and into righties, it seems like he's playing a step closer to the line.
Here's Sosa, who takes the fastball inside. Yeah, he's been positioned perfectly toward that line tonight.
Well, when you got a guy, to me, it's almost like Sid pitching here. With a slow curveball and a good fastball. Wally would always tell me on a left-hand hitter when a curveball was coming, no matter what. It was Ronnie pitching, or if Ronnie threw a splitter, anything off speed. When Ronnie released the ball, Wally would yell my name, only to a left-hand hitter, because that's the off-speed pitch, or the curveball is the pitch a hitter's more inclined to pull. And I would just shift wherever I was in the field around two steps to the line.
Sosa watches the curveball wide, and it's 2-2.
And it happens on the other half of the infield. The shortstop tells the third baseman, because the second baseman and shortstop can see the signs. They know what the pitch is. Third and first can't see.
3-2 to Sosa. Well, it's like when Al Leiter was pitching for the Mets, and he'd throw that cutter inside. He'd get so many ground balls to the third baseman. Just keep that ball in on his hands. Broken bat grounder. Hill eludes the bat, and his Turris throws out Sosa 2 away.
I remember you'd go into Cincinnati, you see the rest of that bat there, Keith, and Davey Concepcion would always whistle when there was a breaking pitch to his third baseman. So that's what you'd hear the entire game on the field, is Davey Concepcion whistling.
And you don't want to tip it off to the hitter because they're looking. Wally would always put his glove in his face after every pitch to hide his face, so they wouldn't know if he was saying keep. But at the point when the ball's ready to leave the pitcher's hands, hitter's concentration is on the ball.
Reyes bloops one, shallow right. In comes Floyd, and Cliff can't get there. And Reyes is safe at first. Nice recovery by Terrio to get to that ball and prevent Reyes from going to second.
Well, I must say, this is a typical Cub team, full of hit. They're not hitting right now that great, but the Cubs were never great defensive teams. They always were a team that can slug with you. Never had quite the pitching to get there, but their defense was never one of their things that they tried to build their club around.
So Reyes aboard with 2 out, not running, and the pitch right at Easley's feet.
Well, nice play by Michael Barrett here, and that's just a nice pick.
Yeah.
That's good hands.
Hit. There's nothing else he could do, though. He could never get his body in front of that one.
Going back to that previous play, Cliff Floyd is not a right fielder.
And Cliff Floyd is not 25 years of age anymore, or 28.
And he's playing very, very deep in this series. Easily gets on one, deep to left field. Back goes Soriano, and it's out of here! Over the bullpen in left field. Number 6 for Damian Easley. A 2-run shot makes it 4-0 New York. Six home runs in 61 at-bats for Damian Easley. He's like Babe Ruth.
Well, you just don't want to throw him. We said he's a high ball hitter. And all you kids out there that are in love with home runs, you don't have to swing up to hit a home run. He is a level swinger on that high pitch. And you can see right here, if we can let it go now with a follow through, watch the plane of the bat. Look at that level. That is a level swing. And then you get under it a little bit. That's the ball you hit over the bullpen.
1-1 to Beltran. Well, Damian Easley has been a revelation, and you think about the pickups that Omar Minaya has made the last couple of years. It's stunning. And that one goes behind Beltran.
That's curveball inside. That's just a case of a young pitcher with 3-hour rain delay, a little rattled here at 11:22, trying to overthrow.
Now look at that. Look at the top hand come over. Look at the plane of the bat. That ball was almost thrown by him. That's the always trust the quickness of your hands. Trust the quickness of your hands.
3-1 now to Beltran.
This is just a terrific angle. This ball almost beats him. And look at him rush it. And so many hitters, and myself, you just have faith in your quickness of your hands.
Beltran grounds one down to Ramirez. That ends the inning, but Damian Easley puts a charge into another one. Well over 400 feet worth of his 6th home run of the year, a 2-run shot to give the Mets a 4-0 lead.
Baseball. It's about loyalty.
It's about dedication.
It's about being champions.
Tradition.
It's about never giving up. It's about never giving up. Never ever. It's about the ballpark.
It's about superstition.
It's about recognition. It's about heroes.
It's about friendships.
It's about family.
It's about teammates.
It's about history.
It's about doing what it takes to win.
Authentic Major League Baseball jerseys, hats, and accessories, all at Dick's Sporting Goods. For a complete lineup, visit dicksportinggoods.com.
Jorge Sosa now 4 runs to the good. He's given up just 1 hit in the first 4 innings, and Jock Jones takes a breaking ball for a strike. 3 cheers for the red, white, and blue. That'll keep the rain off your head. Not sure if the people sitting next to you would be all that pleased.
Maybe only 1 cheer for the lid.
Jones grounded out to first his first trip. He flares 1 foul. 1-2. Ronnie, does it seem as though every night we've got pitchers taking no-hitters in the 6th and 7th inning?
Oh, we had Hamels earlier. That didn't work out. Perfect through 6.
Got another one going in the American League tonight. beats Jones. Second strikeout for Jorge Sosa. Time for a baseball night in New York update. Let's go to the studio and Chris Connor.
Hey guys, Gary, you just mentioned it. Hamels with the perfect game into the 7th, walked the batter, and then J.J. Hardy does this to him. Takes him deep, 2-run homer. Shutout gone, no hitter gone, but not the win. Phil's win at 6-2.
All right, Chris, and here's Cesar Torres, who takes strike. Meanwhile, in Oakland, Odalis Perez for the Kansas City Royals has a no-hitter through 5. I mean, isn't it supposed to be a hitter's world these days? The problem with all these no-hit bids, and Mark Burley threw one earlier in the year, but most of these pitchers don't ever go 9.
Yeah, the managers are like, what do I do now?
Right. I mean, you had Sean Markham with Toronto pulled after 6 innings with a no-hitter going. It was his first start.
Do you ask your pitcher? Do you want a no-hitter, son? I'll leave you in if you want.
Preston Gomez didn't ask Clay Kirby.
That's true. San Diego.
Kirby was behind in the game, so that's a little different.
Preston Gomez.
His Torres to center field, shallow for Beltran. And there are 2 out. So Sosa rolling right along, 2 out and nobody on. Time for our Ask the Booth. Why don't you guys answer this?
Is that Ariel? Ariel, Gary doesn't want a date. Gary is, if it took, like, Yankees come to town this weekend, we get Saturday, Sunday off, so does Gary. This network. Gary's up just furious.
You know where I'll be Saturday.
He's coming to the game on Saturday.
Sitting in the stands with my family.
He's got nothing better to do.
And even if I did. Rich Hill takes a strike and it's 0-2. He'll sacrifice his first time up. Well, there was a time when I did all 162, so this is easy.
You don't like the fact that you can't do the playoffs. It's driving you crazy.
I did my inning last year. It was great. And he's catching everything. Sosa's been great. 1 hit through 5 and a 4-0 Met lead.
Baseball. It's about loyalty.
It's about dedication.
It's about being champions.
Tradition.
It's about never giving up. It's about never giving up. Never ever. It's about the ballpark.
It's about superstition.
It's about recognition. It's about heroes.
It's about friendships.
It's about family.
It's about teammates.
It's about history.
It's about doing what it takes to win.
Authentic Major League Baseball jerseys, hats, and accessories, all at Dick's Sporting Goods. For a complete lineup, visit dicksportinggoods.com.
That's 4 runs and 6 hits off Rich Hill.
Well, there's 2 different ways of trying to go about it. When you see Rich Hill, he's got that big shoulder upswing, big front elbow, almost peering over his shoulder. Just the opposite for Jorge Sosa, almost looking underneath his armpit. And Rich Hill delivers, chin up, chin down. The one on the right to Jorge Sosa is more traditional. It makes sense. Starting as an infielder, wanted to make something real simple for him to learn.
Didn't Sosa on that shot right there kind of remind you a little bit like Gossage with that rearing back and firing?
That's right.
Dono fouls one back, and it's 1-1.
Well, here's Delgado on the swing. The take back. He's just, look, he's already opened up. He's already opened his hips up a little bit and is turning his, so it's getting out in front. That's been his problem. He needs to tuck that front hip in a little more, but he hits open with the open stance.
In the air to shallow left for Soriano. One away.
This is a good angle right here. This is much better. But see how he's already moving forward. He's moving too much forward with the swing. Then he tries to bring it back, and it's too late. It's like in golf, if you get out in front, open up too quick, you're going to slice it. The same thing in baseball. It's just basically a similar swings, but baseball's more in a horizontal plane. Golf's more in a vertical plane.
David Wright picked up an RBI on a pop fly to the second baseman his last time up. Easily scoring from third as Terrio caught it while backpedaling. And Wright drives one to left field and a base hit. Wright, who had a 7-game hitting streak end last night, gets another one started. And the Mets have their 7th hit off Rich Hill.
Well, watch David here. The shoulder in. It's still a ball away. And a good top hand. I love this angle. Good. That's a ball David, when he's hot, goes left, right center field with. And that's been a little bit of the difference this year. And it's been a struggle for David. David really hasn't gotten in the hot streak yet. I mean, for that matter, there's Delgado.
So Duca takes a curve for a strike. Ball is singled and walked tonight. Well, Rich Hill had his first really bad start in his last outing against the Phillies. 5 runs in 5 innings, and getting touched up again tonight. Mets have hit some balls hard. Wright runs, curveball outside, and no throw from Barrett. Wright is now 8 for 8 stealing bases this year.
Well, he stole 3 the other day, and he got a good pitch to steal on the slow curve. It's not a big lead.
If you're a base stealer and you got a pitcher on the mound with a slow curve like that, are you guessing curveball situations to run?
Well, you're not talking to a base stealer here. I would think, hope that you're going to get a slow curve, and the odds are you might get one. But I think right there, left-handers are easier to steal off of than right-handers because you can take a chance. Okay, he's going to break from the bug. I'm going to go. If he goes home, I got it. If he comes over, I'm picked off.
Sometimes if you're picked off, you can still steal the base. Curveball pulled foul. Oh. Into one of the few parts of the ballpark that is fully populated.
That's going to leave a mark.
Seen something new with Paul. Watch what he does with his bat. Outside corner with the end of his bat, and then where the length of his bat is in the handle, that's how far away he wants his back foot. So it's a barometer for him, or a yardstick for him, to get how far he wants to be away from the plate. And my feeling is, and I said it after his first at bat in the second inning, is that he's made an adjustment. He's moved either a little closer to the plate or a little farther away, and he has to make sure he's in the right spot because it's not normal for him. I mean, I knew when I got to the plate, I knew how far to go, how close, how far, without having to do that. But if I had made an adjustment, that's a good way to make sure you're in the right position. Hitting with a slightly open stance.
2-2 in the air to left field, deep toward the corner. Soriano, and he runs it down in that deep corner. Back to second goes Wright, 2 away.
Well, long way to run for Soriano. That's the tough part of the play, covering the ground, but it's a routine fly ball. And Wright does the right thing with 1 out here, because if the ball drops, he can score.
There's also no other left fielder in baseball that you go that far on. You go that far because you're not sure if he's going to come up with the play.
Here's Sean Green, who's hit the ball hard twice tonight, a single and a ground out. Sean, the last couple of days, he's really scorched some balls.
He's getting used to his haircut.
You know, Keith, you were talking about LaDuca with the open stance. It was very funny. They played one of the old Met games during the rain delay. And Gary and I were watching, and Mookie Wilson was up, and Mookie had the most distinct closed stance you'd ever see from the right side. He was batting right-handed, and that's something that if you did do that, a hitting coach would stop you from doing that, probably.
Well, you used to see closed stances, though,
all
rather
the time,
routinely. Now you never see it. Why is that?
There's a philosophy behind all this, and I kind of agree. It makes sense. If your dominant eye for a left-hander is your right eye, then you can hit closed and vice versa for a right-hand hitter. But if your dominant eye is your left eye, they want you to face the pitcher more. Which, when you have an open stance, it enables you to face the pitcher more so your left eye can take over. My dominant eye is my right eye.
When we were kids, we used to laugh at Dick McCullough. Remember him with the Tigers? He had that wide open stance, but nobody did in those days. Good curveball. It's 2-2 to Green.
How about Nellie Fox?
It's a little before my time.
Okay.
You're older than me.
I'm the oldest guy here.
But, you know, in the quote-unquote modern era, Andres Galarraga was the guy who started facing the pitcher. And the curveball in there, and Green down looking. Good-looking breaking ball from Rich Hill to get Green standing still. 5 strikeouts for Hill. Through 5, 4-0 New York.
Baseball. It's about loyalty.
It's about dedication.
It's about being champions.
Tradition.
It's about never giving up. It's about never giving up. Never ever. It's about the ballpark.
It's about superstition.
It's about recognition. It's about heroes.
It's about friendships.
It's about family.
It's about teammates.
It's about history.
It's about doing what it takes to win.
Authentic Major League Baseball jerseys, hats, and accessories, all at Dick's Sporting Goods. For a complete lineup, visit dicksportinggoods.com.
Sixth inning, Jorge Sosa working with a 4-0 lead. He's allowed just 1 hit. Third time around the batting order, and Ryan Theriot takes a strike. You know, Orlando Hernandez is probably going to throw his second simulated game on Monday and may well be ready to rejoin the Mets weekend after next. Remember, it was Sosa who took El Duque's spot in the rotation, and I think there's one thing for certain: when El Duque is ready to come back, Sosa is going nowhere.
Yeah.
Here's your Aflac trivia answer. We mentioned Aramis Ramirez, the second Cub to hit a grand slam here. The first, Lloyd McClendon.
What year was that again?
1990, I think it's. I don't even remember McClendon as a Cub.
Not on my watch.
He was a, you were gone.
No, he would have been there yelling at Sid with the bases loaded.
Theriot lines one to left, but right there's Gomez. One away. Hey, Kevin Burkhart's here. We had to wait till 20 of midnight to bring him into the broadcast. Kevin?
Hello, guys. You know, it's funny. You can't really talk about the Cubs these days without talking about Lou Piniella, even though we haven't talked about him too much tonight. So I went scrambling around the Cubs clubhouse just asking some of the players what he is actually really like to play for. A lot of the players said the media kind of plays it up, that what you see on the field isn't necessarily what you see behind closed doors. One player told me you definitely have to have thick skin, but he's honest. He tells you truthfully. I think Will Ullman said it best, though. He was comparing Dusty Baker to Lou Piniella. And he said, let me put it this way. Baker's the type of guy that would come up, put his arm around you, and kind of talk shop. Piniella's like the stern father. He would come up behind you with the stiff grip and say, that will never happen again. So a little difference, but apparently it's a little bit more toned down than we think behind closed doors.
Kevin, things a little rowdy down there tonight?
You know, they're not a lot of them down here, Gab, but they're a rowdy group. Actually, they're fired up. I'm guessing they don't have school or work tomorrow. That's why. Or if they do, they're not going.
Yes.
If you wait this long to hang out to watch the game, you're going to be pretty enthusiastic. Floyd takes a strike, and it's 0-2.
It becomes a badge of honor at some point, doesn't it? I mean, you spent many nights in this ballpark when there were rain delays. It becomes a badge of honor to stay and wait it out.
Yes.
Until mom and dad sees you on TV, and then it's all from there.
And Cliff watches outside, 1-2. Well, you know, when Candlestick Park hosted baseball games, they used to hand out those quad to Candlestick for fans who sat through extra inning games, like a little pin. You mentioned a badge of honor.
Well, the Bay Area, both of San Francisco and Oakland teams, the fans love the pins. They love to put the pins on their hats.
Kevin, when this game's over, that studio is going to be shut down. Why don't you just go on home?
I was actually hoping to sleep in your car tonight, Keith. Okay.
And he gets him. Sosa with his fourth strikeout. Fans Floyd 2 away.
Well, again, this is that little backdoor slider that starts on the outside part, bends back over the plate, and Cliff offered at it, but never really came back over enough for Floyd to put a bat on it.
So Sosa just keeps on getting better and better. It's really stunning what we're seeing here compared to what we saw from Sosa in spring training this year. There's Soriano with 2 out. He takes a strike.
It's absolutely amazing.
Night and day.
Who was the pitching coach down in AAA? Gary, do you know off the top of your head?
Mark Brewer. Hit deep but foul down the right side. It's 0-2. And Sosa gives him a lot of credit.
Kudos to Mark Brewer.
Yeah. Well, you see a lot of the Met pitchers, lefty or righty, like to be on that first base side if you're a right-hander, third base side if you're a left-hander.
I think that's part of Rick Peterson's philosophy. Most every pitcher, they either are on at one extreme, first base side, or the other extreme on the right, on the third base side. And with obviously right there, Sosa's on the first base side.
In the air to right field, and Sean Green standing his ground. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Jorge Sosa. He's set down 7 in a row, and he's working on a one-hitter through 6. Late and effective.
Baseball. It's about loyalty. It's about dedication.
It's about being champions.
Tradition.
It's about never giving up.
It's about never giving up. Never ever.
It's about the ballpark.
It's about superstition.
It's about recognition. It's about heroes.
It's about friendships.
It's about family.
It's about teammates.
It's about history.
It's about doing what it takes to win.
Authentic Major League Baseball jerseys, hats, and accessories, all at Dick's Sporting Goods. For a complete lineup, visit dicksportinggoods.com.
We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Carlos Gomez leads off. You love baseball, right? Gomez has been up twice. He hit a little pop fly, and he hit a bullet line drive. The pop fly was a hit. The line drive was an out. And he takes the curveball for a strike. Looped a single to right to drive in a run on the 2nd. Scorched one that Ramirez made a nice diving catch on. Pulls that one foul.
You know, Keith, for a big, young 21-year-old player, he has a different kind of swing. Usually those guys have a big, long swing. He has a very short, compact cut.
He's got the very widespread stance, the feet far apart, like a lot of hitters today. Kind of sits down on it a little bit, gets his feet far apart, and then kind of sinks his body down in that stance.
And Keith, he looks so composed up there for a kid in his 3rd big league game. Popped up right near the mound, and Ward comes in from first to make the play. 1 away. So 1 out and nobody on. Let's go to Chris Connor, a Baseball Night in New York update. Chris?
All right, Gary, the Yanks dropped game 1 of a doubleheader in Chicago today. Game 2, top 3. Hideki Matsui fools Darren Erstad in center field, rather. Jeter and Giambi score. It's now 4-1. Yankees on top of the 8th.
Did not look like a Gold Glove effort by Erstad. Ooh. That's what happens when you play a day-night doubleheader with a rain delay in the 2nd game. Big cut by Sosa, and it's 0-1.
He's dangerous up there with that bat. That's a big rip he took right there.
Mentioned 3 home runs last year. 1-1 to Sosa, who struck out and grounded out tonight. He is having himself quite a night.
Well, the only games being played that are on the West Coast. Everything else is done.
Big cut again. It's 2-2. Well, we mentioned that Sosa is not going anywhere when El Duque is ready to come back.
Oh, when you got a big swinger like that, go up the ladder. Don't throw him a strike.
Mets will need a pitcher tomorrow, and it's certainly seeming as though it's going to be Jason Vargas. And whoever it is, they've got to already be in town.
Yes.
Because, you know, it takes a while to get here, and it's a day game tomorrow.
What's the secret?
Ball 4. I don't know. But they haven't shared. The 2007 Subway Series is coming, and SNY is live and on-site at Shea with full coverage of the first Mets-Yankees battle of the year. The Subway Series on SNY. Coverage begins Friday at 5 only on Sportsnet New York. There are the diehards at 11:48 on a Wednesday night. 1 out and 1 on for Reyes, who takes ball 1. Reyes 1 for 3. A pop fly single his last time up. And Hill falls behind him 2-0, and Hill's pitch count getting up there now to the century mark. And there's no action yet in the Cubs bullpen. Well, that may be about to change. And it's 3-0.
Well, that's what happens when you pitchers want to throw a 2-0 breaking ball. If you miss, it'll put you in big trouble.
Taking all the way in a strike.
And that's purely coming from an offensive perspective, from a hitter's perspective.
Neil Kotz starts to throw in the Chicago bullpen. 3-1 to Reyes. Driven foul. And it's 3-2. Damian Easley, who had a long 2-run homer his last time up, waits on deck.
Oh, tied him up. This is not a good swing, and it's just like, thank you for staying in that at bat. That little cutter in run.
Yeah. beat him, but he's just so quick, such great talent. He even able to foul that off.
Oh, nice cut. Fastball away. Right on it, just under it. Nice
so he's
swing.
covered both sides of the plate now and fouled it off. What do you do next?
Well, after the 2 swings, I'm inside, not outside. The outside swing was right on.
I agree.
In the air, shallow left, and Soriano in. 2 away. And Sosa back to first. Well, here's Damon Easley, who's crunched another one his last time up.
Ooh. Number 6. Say Willie said high fastball. They know.
You think word might get out soon? At 6 homers and 61 at bats. And I think every one of them's been on a high fastball, right?
They have. It reminds me of Tim Tuffle on our 86 team. Tim was a high ball hitter.
So what's the key with a guy like that, Ronnie? Is it to come up and out of the strike zone?
Yeah, up and out of the strike zone. The problem with Hill is that he is a high fastball pitcher. One of his strengths is he throws a high fastball, and then the curveball comes out of the same spot. That's what fools the hitter.
1-1 to Easley. Well, that's .607 slugging percentage. That'll keep you in the lineup. Speed pitch, and it's 1-2.
I mean, at the beginning of the year, Gary, Easley was getting no playing time. It was Jose Valentin at second base, and it's much like last year. Well, Valentin got a break and never looked back, and now Easley steps in and 6 home runs.
Same story all over again. A player who was an afterthought all of a sudden has become a primetime player.
And had to be another player that when he was shopping around what team he was trying to decide on, there had to be a lot of teams that said, you know, Damian, appreciate your play, but, you know, we don't think you're a good fit for us, because they might have thought his playing days were over. Certainly aren't. Wow.
2-2 to Damian. And he takes a little bit low, and it's 3-2. Well, there's no telling when Valentin's going to be back. I mean, his knee is not very stable right now, and you know, there's some question as to whether he'll be whole at all this year. So Easley may become even more important as the season goes along. Sosa will run with 3-2 and 2 down. And the curveball swung and missed. And Easley down swinging to end the inning. 6 strikeouts for Rich Hill. But it's been a big night for Easley and a big night for the Mets with a 4-0 lead.
Baseball. It's about loyalty.
It's about dedication.
It's about being champions.
Tradition.
It's about never giving up. It's about never giving up. Never ever. It's about the ballpark.
It's about superstition.
It's about recognition. It's about heroes.
It's about friendships.
It's about family.
It's about teammates.
It's about history.
It's about doing what it takes to win.
Authentic Major League Baseball jerseys, hats, and accessories, all at Dick's Sporting Goods. For a complete lineup, visit dicksportinggoods.com.
Well, as we approach midnight, let's check out our Toyota National League scoreboard. Marlins got 2 in the 8th to beat the Pirates. The Nationals rallied. Brian Church a 3-run double to put them over the top in a game started by Lavelle Spigner for Washington with 3 starters on the disabled list. Houston beats the Giants 2-1. Hunter Pence has been a revelation. Phillies got a great pitching performance out of Cole Hamels, who perfect game through 6. Jake Peavy fell behind early, trying to keep his team in the game for the Padres. Brandon Webb, coming off a great start, went down against Colorado. Aramis Ramirez lifts one to deep left field. Gomez back right at the wall, and he makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 long out off the bat of Aramis Ramirez, and that's 8 in a row retired by Jorge Sosa.
Well, playing very deep, Gomez doesn't have far to go. And the key is to get back fast to the wall.
First baseman Darryl Ward.
Routine.
And 2 hands.
I like that.
Here's Darryl Ward, the last man to reach for the Cubs. He got aboard on Easley's error in the 4th. There have been only 3 base runners in this game for the Cubs. A first inning walk to Floyd, a 3rd inning single by Asturias, and then that error. 0-2 to Ward. That is 10 consecutive batters that Sosa's thrown a first pitch strike to.
Well, we talked about 71% of the batters he's faced, he's thrown coming into the game from first pitch strike. That's only going to go up.
It's a good formula for success.
Now, am I correct in assuming here in 5 days Sosa will be pitching the first game in Atlanta against his old mates? Is that how the rotation works out?
Well, there is an off day on Monday, so they have a choice. We still don't know who's pitching tomorrow.
I got to believe they're going to keep Mr. Sosa the way he's throwing in that nice little rotation.
Well, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, no.
Another success story under Rick Peterson. 2-2 to Ward. And it's a small sample. This is only his 3rd start, but you have to be impressed.
I'm impressed because of how he's doing it. A lot of times a guy can have success and you say to yourself, boy, you know, they're scoring him a lot of runs or this or that, whatever. He's throwing breaking balls on the corners. He's pitching behind the count with breaking balls. He's able to get ahead and throw fastballs for strikes, keeping the ball down, doing all those things you have to do to be successful.
I mean, 9 hits in 19 innings. That's pretty impressive.
That's scary.
He's not walking anybody. So critical.
He's walked 1 tonight. 3-2 to Ward, and he walked him.
See, we jinxed him.
Jay Horwitz would be very angry.
Me and my big mouth.
The catcher, Michael Barrett.
So the second walk given up by Sosa. And there's Jay.
Oh, Jay.
That hair needs to grow back in real fast.
Jay is thrilled his hair is growing back.
Nobody told Jay that public relations men do not have to succumb to team rules.
How about Ethan Wilson?
Poor Ethan.
One of Jay's assistants. Michael Barrett is flied to left and grounded out to second. Fouled away. There's Ethan.
He's devastated. He's not liking that haircut, I guarantee you.
He liked his moss.
That's right, Ethan. We're talking about you. Oh, there they are.
You got them both in the same shot.
The Bobsey twins.
That's a rarity. You know, they're not often seen together. Barrett lunges for one. Oh, and 2 to Barrett. This is high. Oh.
You're losing it.
It's midnight.
You need to go back to the radio for
it's
a week.
Midnight. Come on.
I'm worried about you.
You got to pay attention. Slowly hit. Wright plays the offbeat hop and will have to go to first. as Ward moves up to second.
Well, Wright gets the in-between hop here. He wants to come in hard for the double play. He still had the force out, but he took the safety first with a 4-run lead in the 7th.
So the Cubs get a runner to scoring position for only the second time in the game. And Jock Jones was grounded out and struck out tonight. Rich Hill has thrown 113 pitches in 6 innings. Is he coming back out?
Oh. Saw with Zambrano that Lupinello doesn't mind pushing his pitchers, but I doubt it. Neil Kotz now has been up for a long time.
Well, they got Beltran Delgado, so
might need a fresh arm. 1-1 to Jones.
Well, Jock Jones has always had that big swing and out in front of that slider.
Work him up and away, and it's 2-1. Jock Jones, second year with the Cubs after half a dozen years in Minnesota with his running mate Torrey Hunter. Certainly have a glut of outfielders with this team, you know, by importing Soriano and Floyd this year. And they're going to have to fight for playing time. The diehards after midnight.
And, you know, none of them can play first base either. You know, with Derek Lee out maybe for a little while, they could get some at-bats there, but they don't play there. Cliff doesn't wish to play there.
There was a time when he did. Just missed 3-2 to Jones. Of course, Cliff had that horrible injury he suffered here at Shea back in, I guess it was 95 when he was with the Expos, when Todd Hundley ran into his arm and it was broken in 7 places. And I have to tell you, having been in the stadium that day and there weren't a lot of people here, you could hear Cliff from here to Flushing.
Wow.
It was awful. And, you know, he came back and played later that year, which was stunning. You would have figured his career could have been over, but certainly his season would have been over. But he came back, to his credit. 3-2 to Jones. Struck him out. A well-deserved two-step. Jorge Sosa with 5 strikeouts, and he's got a one-hitter going through 7. What a night for Sosa. And the Mets with a 4-0 lead.
Sportsnet New York. Baseball. It's about loyalty. It's about dedication.
It's about being champions.
Tradition.
It's about never giving up. It's about never giving up. Never ever. It's about the ballpark.
It's about superstition.
It's about recognition. It's about heroes.
It's about friendships.
It's about family.
It's about teammates.
It's about history.
It's about doing what it takes to win.
Authentic Major League Baseball jerseys, hats, and accessories, all at Dick's Sporting Goods. For a complete lineup, visit dicksportinggoods.com.
Well, it was a windy, rainy day in New York, and the Mets had to wait a long time before sending Jorge Sosa to the mound, and he's made it worth it so far. A tremendous effort, helped out by a nice defensive play by David Wright. Carlos Gomez, first big league RBI. Damian Easley, yet another home run. But the big story has been Sosa, 7 innings, no runs, 1 hit. And the Mets with a 4-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Carlos Beltran leads off against the new Cub pitcher Neil Kotz. And there's his name on your lineup card.
Well, Monday night's ball game, Neil Kotz stranded 2 inherited runners when he induced Carlos Delgado to ground into a 7th inning double play, limiting opponents to a 173 batting average. He started the season with 11 consecutive scoreless innings.
Well, the Mets get the bullpen cranking. Feliciano with Smith. Sosa with 96 pitches through 7. So we'll see if he gets one more go round. What do you think?
Yes.
Yes. Sometimes the guy's just got the other team's number. You don't want to change, bring in new personnel.
Beltran gets ahead of it and pulls a foul.
These are also these 3 games, particularly this one. Now this has been his best game. They're confidence builders. This is a guy coming off a bad year, and it's a confidence builder. Just stay with him.
And you got 8 and 9 in the order coming up to lead off in the 8th. Beltran takes a slider inside. It's 3-1. Well, you can't ask for more than what Jorge Sosa has given the Mets, filling in for El Duque. And Beltran walks to lead off in the bottom of the 7th. So Kotz walks the first man to face him. Kevin Burkhardt, where are you?
I'm up here in the stratosphere, guys, and you want to talk about dedication from these Met fans tonight. How about the fans that are up here in the upper deck and that have stayed in their seats? Angel and Millie are here, and you know there are other seats available. Did you ever think of maybe wandering down even 3-4 rows?
Yes, we have, but it's been a while since I've been up this high, and I just thought I'd, take a view from it up here.
Now, the best part, guys, is that Millie is the one that has to work tomorrow. And she's not caring about the sleep, though. She likes the 4-0 lead. That's all that matters. They're staying in the seats they were given. Very impressive. Silly. Not sure.
Do those guys know Bob Uecker?
You guys know Bob Uecker?
Heard of him.
Well, that is dedication. I mean, I used to sit up in those seats, but if there were that much real estate in front of me,
you were coming down.
I would have
right?
moved down a long time ago.
Get on the rail at least, right?
Never forget, in '73, my buddy and I were here for the National League Championship Series. Mets and Reds. Mets were up 2-1 going to game 4. And we're sitting in one of the back rows of the mezzanine way out in right field. And with the Mets leading in the late innings, we moved all the way down to the field boxes. And Delgado loops one into center field. Beltran to second. And Delgado has his first hit of the night. And the Mets have the first 2 men on in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, you got to force yourself to get jammed if you're out in front to stay back.
David Wright.
And Delgado had a good balance there, ball out over the plate. And this had a lot of the middle of the plate, and then Delgado's red hot, or he might lose it. But right now, you've got to shorten up your swing when you're not feeling good till you find your comfort zone and get into a groove. Good at bat for Delgado.
There's David Wright with 2 men on. David with a base hit. He also has a short sacrifice fly tonight, 1 for 2. Anyway, we worked our way down to the field boxes in game 4. Of course, Reds tied it. Pete Rose hit a home run off Harry Parker in the 12th. And we're stranded there down in the field boxes, just standing there waiting to run on the field, and never were able to. Of course, the Mets won it the next day, game 5.
If you were superstitious, you might have said to yourself, maybe we shouldn't go down there. They're ahead, and we've been up in these seats. Maybe we shouldn't leave these seats.
Yeah, but in those days, it was more important to be part of the celebration.
Yeah.
You know, now, of course, you're not getting on the field if you're a fan. But back in the in the 70s, it was a little different.
Would you have been one of those guys that would have ripped up the grass?
I got a piece. I got my piece. Oh. In fact, I kept a piece of grass from the the pitcher against the Braves in '69 in the league championship series. Kept a piece of grass in a plastic bag in my mother's shed for about 20 years.
Wow. You Met fans, you're nuts. Absolutely out of your minds.
Right fouls it off. I will say this. 73 was not the same as 69.
Yeah.
69 it was pure joy celebration. By 73 it was already more of a vandalism situation.
Yeah.
A little more thuggery involved. And, you know, by the time you guys got to the postseason in '86, that concept of running on the field was long past. 2-2 to right.
Although I believe when we clinched the division, the fans came out on the field in '86.
They
Is that
did.
true?
They did.
Yeah.
Someone tried to steal my glove.
Not, but not like thousands of people. It was just a few, right? Because in
No,
69
not
73,
thousands,
you had thousands of
Yeah.
people out on the field. Right lines one foul. On top of that one and yanked it.
Well, 69 was just a special year. I don't think America, I was on the West Coast, I don't think America knew what kind of good team the Mets were. They won 100 games that year. And no one expected them to beat the Baltimore Orioles.
No one even expected them to get to the first division that year, much less win the division. Right pulls one over the bag and down the line. That'll get Beltran home from second. Delgado cruises into third. An RBI double for David Wright, his second hit and second RBI of the night, and it's 5-0 New York.
Well, there have been some nice plays by third basemen tonight. Ramirez hit too hard and too much down the line there. And always a treat to watch that man run.
The catcher, Paul Loduca.
So David's had himself a nice night.
So here's Loduca as the Mets are treating Neil Kotz rudely after he pitched well the other night, and Jorge Sosa just living a dream. With a 5-0 lead now, the infield comes in for Loduca, who takes it in the dirt. Loduca 1 for 2 and a walk tonight. The Mets now with 9 hits in the game. Delgado with third and right at second with nobody out. All 8 starting position players have a hit tonight. In the air to center. Not all that deep, but Jones drifting on it. Delgado tags at third. He comes home as the throw goes toward third. Sacrifice fly for Loduca makes it 6-0 New York.
Well, all you need is a fly ball here. You want to get a base hit. But you'll take that.
Sean Green.
This makes it a 6-0 ball game. And Jock Jones kind of circled that one. I mean, that was just a high fly ball. He had trouble with it.
Here's Sean Green, who takes ball 1. I mean, don't you want to get behind that ball if you're the center fielder? And he was just kind of going in a circle.
He surrounded it.
One and 1 to Green, who's 1 for 3 on the night.
Oh boy. Oh.
Game's got a little late.
They got to call those guys in the white coats.
Slowly hit. Terrio waits on it. Throws out Green for the second out as Wright moves over to third. So now there are 2 away. And here's Carlos Gomez. Gomez 1 for 3. A bloop single to drive and a run back in the second. Robbed of a double by Aramis Ramirez, who made a great play in the fourth. And Sosa is coming out on deck. So it looks like he'll get another inning. And the curveball for a strike to Gomez. And why not with a 6-0 lead?
Got a one-hitter.
Maybe have a chance to go all the way with a quick 8th. Oh, up and in with the fastball, 0-2.
Right by him. That is, dial it up a notch there.
Tried it again. It's 1-2.
Well, the only base hit in this game for the Cubs has been Cesar Esteuras back in the 3rd inning, Gary, and that was a legitimate base hit up the middle, a line drive.
And he'll be leading off in the 8th. Pulled over the bag, and that's a fair ball for Gomez. That brings home right. Gomez flying to second, and he's in with an RBI double. 7-0 New York. Gomez got this one past Ramirez and down the line. He has had a terrific first week in the big league.
Well, same spot as David Wright's double earlier, right down the line. Well, watch him run, folks. He can fly.
And now Sosa takes ball 1. And now Sosa with a 7-0 lead, and the only question is how far he can go on this night. Hits one well to center field. Jones going back and makes the catch. So Sosa got some good wood on that one. Carlos Gomez with his 2nd hit and his 2nd RBI of the night. And the Mets have pulled away for a 7-0 lead.
Bring your family.
Baseball. It's about loyalty.
It's about dedication.
It's about being champions.
Tradition. It's about never giving up. It's about never giving up. Never ever. It's about the ballpark.
It's about superstition.
It's about recognition. It's about heroes. It's about friendships. It's about family.
It's about teammates.
It's about history. It's about doing what it takes to win.
Authentic Major League Baseball jerseys, hats, and accessories, all at Dick's Sporting Goods. For a complete lineup, visit dicksportinggoods.com.
Jorge Sosa takes the mound for the 8th inning, working on a 1-hit shutout, and the man who has the only hit against him, Cesar Esteuras, will lead things off. And he takes a strike. Esteuras led off the 3rd inning, hitting one back past Sosa, low bridging him and into center field. Changeup misses 1-1.
Well, Gary showed me in between innings, if Sosa's able to complete this game, complete this shutout, he'll double his total. 1 complete game and 1 shutout to 2 of each.
That came in 2003 while pitching for Tampa Bay. His lone complete game and shutout. Foul by Esteuras, and it's 2-2. Joe Smith, Pedro Feliciano staying ready, as Sosa is about to deliver his 100th pitch of the night. Three and two. This was in the 3rd leading off, and it was certainly a legit hit.
So the Mets will still not have a no-hitter in their long and storied franchise history.
Is Turris down the left field line, foul ball. Well, this is the 46th year of the franchise. Hasn't been that long. Bobby Howry up in the Cubs bullpen.
And hasn't been that storied.
You know, it would think. Well, that's not true. Come on. You're a story right here. Fouled off his foot. Not a swung at ball 4. And he pays for it.
Oh, that's one he fouled. Looked like right off his shin.
That hurts. Was off the inner ankle. Oh, the inside ankle, that hurts. It's right on the bone, and it's a bone bruise, and it hurts.
And it's 12-21.
I was going to say, if the Mets ever do throw a no-hitter, it'll probably be just like this. I'll finish it up at 1 o'clock in the morning with 100 people in the stands.
And it'll be a September call-up that no one's heard of.
Outside ball 4, and his Turris is on with Sosa's 3rd walk of the night. So Willie has to figure out how much further he wants to go with Sosa. He's got a 7-0 lead. Now let's see. Mike Fontenot had been out on deck to pinch hit, but he's gone back in the dugout. And instead it's going to be Angel Pagan. Not sure why the change in strategy.
Probably wants someone with a little more pop in his bat. Fontenot, I think, is a kind of a singles hitter. One swing, try to get 2 runs on the board. I could be overthinking here. It's after midnight.
It's 7-0.
Don't ask these tough questions.
I mean, I can see it. I can see in a 1-run game, you got one guy up there to bunt, one guy up there for power. I mean, but it's 7-0. Why can't Mike Fontenot get his one at bat?
Well, he got one. Excuse me. One last night,
and he hit the ball well.
He got a double to left field.
Willie running out to the mound, which means he'll probably not make a change. Maybe just taking the temperature on Sosa. And he is taking him out. Usually when he jogs, it's only for a message.
Wow.
Well, there's a nice message for Jorge Sosa from the small but enthusiastic crowd at 12:22 a.m. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Verizon. Switch to Verizon Fios TV, internet, phone. It's the most advanced fiber optic network straight to your home. Joe Smith coming on to relieve Jorge Sosa.
Hey, boss. Baseball. It's about loyalty. It's about dedication.
It's about being champions.
Tradition.
It's about never giving up.
It's about never giving up.
Never ever. It's about the ballpark.
It's about superstition.
It's about recognition. It's about heroes.
It's about friendships.
It's about family.
It's about teammates.
It's about history.
It's about doing what it takes to win.
Authentic Major League Baseball jerseys, hats, and accessories, all at Dick's Sporting Goods. For a complete lineup, visit dicksportinggoods.com.
Until Pagan takes the strike from Joe Smith.
What sausage was Chris again in Milwaukee?
I believe he was the Italian, or was he the Polish?
Was he the Polish? And he finished 4th, right?
Well, that's because he was signing autographs.
He stunk it up.
Hey, Chris, this is not to give anything away, You would be scared to death out here.
Jorge Sosa, job well done tonight. 2-1 to Pagan, who's had just 12 at-bats since being called up. Grounded down to Delgado. They'll take the play at first and get Pagan for the first out. So 1 out as Turris moves to second. Well, there was a day when, with a 7-0 lead, working on a one-hitter in the 8th inning, there wasn't a chance in the world that a pitcher was coming out of the game. But times have changed.
Well, absolutely, yeah. Times have changed. Any pitcher would want to finish up that game. One, because you very rarely get a chance to pitch a shutout. Very rarely get a chance to pitch a one-hit shutout. Complete game. You rest the bullpen for tomorrow. All those kind of things. But the game has changed, and then that's simple. Got 100-pitch mark is the benchmark, and that's it.
Ryan Theriot takes a strike.
What are you laughing at? Was that not a good point? Or
Bill Webb was in my ear about getting on my pretzel right here.
Well, that could be you did a good job on that pretzel.
Can we show it again, Bill?
Bill, come on.
See, it could be a C, it could be a U.
It's late. It's 12:30.
1-2 to Theriot.
Well,
yeah, that's the excuse for everything now.
I got an hour-and-a-half ride home.
By the way, the next game starts in 12.5 hours. That's the last Mets complete game one-hitter. Aaron Howman against the Marlins. Mets had a combined one-hitter that they lost last year in Houston. And there's still a one-hitter going here.
The last complete game one-hitter was Hollins, right? Aaron Hollins.
Right. 2-2 to Theriot. Did he hold? He did. It's 3-2.
You know what I'd like to see, Gary? And we're going to look at this. He did not swing. I know it's all changed, the philosophy. I would like to see a pitcher when a manager comes out to pull him and go, no, please, plead with him. I want to stay in. I want this shutout.
Well, here's the thing. Sosa did not look at all unhappy to come out of the game.
Well,
he looked thrilled.
Well, he had an unbelievable game. I mean,
big hopper for Reyes. And he guns down Theriot for the second out as his Turris moves over to third. So now 2 out for Cliff Floyd. Well, Sosa's on the cusp of going to 3-0 in his first 3 starts, and that's something that has rarely happened in Mets history. In fact, there are only 4 pitchers for the Mets who have won their first 3 starts for the Mets. Bob Shaw in 1966, Bobby Ojeda in 86, Sid in 84, and Pedro Estacio in 2002. And Sosa's on the verge of joining that company. Floyd is 0 for 2 in a walk. Smith throws him inside. That's not a guy upset at coming out of the game.
Well, he's a guy that last year people said his career was over, so he's just so excited to be back on that mound, having success with the Mets are able to hold on to this, a first-place team.
Slider by Smith, and it's 1-1.
Well, Cliff trying to pull. Oh, he took something off of that a little bit. Nice.
There's that list of Mets who started out 3-0 in their first 3 starts.
Did Bob Shaw ever pitch with the Giants? Did he pitch with the Giants, or am I wrong?
He might have. I'm trying to remember where they got him from. The White Sox. I think of Bob Shaw and Bob Friend right about the same time.
Bob Friend, the old Pirate.
2-2 to Floyd.
Sometimes he gets overlooked, but certainly by not by Met fans, and certainly by not his teammates. What a great season Bob Ojeda had in '86. Just
118, right?
Really, the glue, one of the glues to that middle of that rotation. Just changed it up with all that soft stuff on the left side.
It's almost, well, wait for after this pitch.
2-2 to Floyd. Full foul.
The Pirates went and got Tudor from Boston. Yeah. Whitey went and got Tudor from the Pirates, and Tudor became the pitcher he was. It was like Frank Cashin said, hey, he's left-handers from Fenway with a changeup. Frank went and got Ojeda. And Bob was nails for us. One of the three Caballeros.
Broken bat bloop down the line, and that'll get the first run home for the Cubs. Well, Floyd broke a bat, got a base hit, and drives in the run. It's now 7-1 New York. And that run is charged to Jorge Sosa. If I'm not mistaken, didn't he give up runs after he left the game in his first start?
With Joe Smith pitching.
Well, Joe tried to bring a slider, and you can, oh, I love this angle. You can see how it just sawed off Cliff's bat.
0-1 to Soriano. By the way, you were right on, Mr. Hernandez. The Mets got Bob Shaw from the Giants in 1966.
Didn't Bob Shaw have a great year in 65 with the Giants?
65, he went 16-9. 0-2. He pitched for the Tigers, the White Sox, the Kansas City A's, Milwaukee, the Giants, the Mets, and the Cubs. That's a whirlwind. Wow.
The only reason why I know that is because I'm playing the 65 National League in Strato.
There you go. Down the way. Well, Bob Shaw won 108 games for all those different teams. Won 11-10 with the Mets in 66. And if you could have a winning record with the 66 Mets, that was good. 0-2 to Soriano. And he missed with the sinker. Final line on Sosa, 7 innings plus, 1 hit, 1 run, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, and through 3 starts as a Met, he has a 2.25 ERA. And Soriano hits one off his foot, foul.
Kind of like those in-between high tops there.
Make over $100 million, you get your name on your shoe, by the way.
Is that what it takes? Struck him out. Joe Smith fans Alfonso Soriano to end the inning. But a big night for Jorge Sosa and the Mets. Middle of the 8th, 7-1 New York.
Baseball. It's about loyalty. It's about dedication.
It's about being champions.
Tradition.
It's about never giving up. It's about never giving up. Never ever. It's about the ballpark.
It's about superstition.
It's about recognition. It's about heroes.
It's about friendships.
It's about family.
It's about teammates.
It's about history.
It's about doing what it takes to win.
Authentic Major League Baseball jerseys, hats, and accessories, all at Dick's Sporting Goods. For a complete lineup, visit dicksportinggoods.com.
Here's your New York Lottery box score. Mets putting together a big offensive night against the Chicago Cubs. Rich Hill and Neil Cox. Damian Easley with the 2-run homer. Nicely illustrated. Thank you, Keith.
I'm getting better.
David Wright, a couple of RBIs. And Carlos Gomez in his second big league start. 2 runs batted in. Bobby Howard takes over the pitching for the Cubs as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
Well, you see that mark, 301 leads batting against Bob Howard, 4.34, but he has had a tough time of it. He was supposed to be the right-handed setup man. Had a tough time of it so far early in the season.
Jose Reyes up for the 5th time, 1 for 4 on the night. Singled and scored back in the 4th. Fouled away. Well, we were talking about managers and how they use their bullpens nowadays and how things have changed. Game just ended in San Diego tonight. Cincinnati and the Padres went to the bottom of the 9th, 2-2. Bronson Arroyo, the starter for the Padres. That score is not up to date. And Jerry Narron left Arroyo in to pitch the bottom of the 9th. Single, error, walk, forced in the winning run. 3-2 final. Padres win. I mean, that almost never happens that a guy goes out there to pitch the bottom of the 9th and never gets relieved. He wound up throwing 128 pitches and took the complete game loss. Just to show that it's not always.
Well, I think our
100 pitches and fly.
I think our point here is a 7-run lead in this game, not a tie ball game or a 1-run lead.
But probably even less likely for a guy to stay in a tie ball game, right?
Yes.
Although you have precedent for Arroyo here last year when he pitched that great ball game against the Mets and completed 9 innings.
So the Padres got Jake Peavy off the hook in that game. Peavy gave up 2 runs in the first. Didn't give up another run over the next 6. He's good.
Yeah.
Reyes watches outside. 1-2.
I think maybe the change of managers, although Bruce Bochy's one of the best in the business, but Bud Black's a former pitcher, former great starting pitcher. It might have calmed Peavy down to get pretty excitable on the mound.
Reyes slaps one the other way. His second hit of the night. That's a great job by Reyes to take that pitch to left field. And as Damian Easley comes up, here's our Panasonic Plasma replay. Panasonic for the speed of sports. This was in the 4th, a long home run off the bat of Easley, his 6th of the year. And Reyes is coming out of the game.
He ran very gingerly down the first base line like he had, I don't know, hurt his ankle or something as he's limping off.
He's limping is right. And remember, he's had hamstring problems.
Well, it's been a long time since you had to worry about any leg problems with Reyes.
Well, let's see. Oh!
So Ruben Gotay is running for Reyes, and we'll hold our breath as Easley takes a strike.
Well, we'll watch the swing. And keep an eye on his legs. There's the plant. That's instant.
Right there.
That is not good news.
0-2 to Easley.
You know, when you pull those muscles, those leg muscles, they linger.
Well, you hope it was just a tweak. The last thing in the world that the Mets can afford is to lose Reyes for any period of time.
You know, hopefully, the best scenario is he might just maybe twisted his ankle a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you can come back from that.
Michael Herbst, the assistant trainer, bringing a little report to Willie Randolph.
I wish I was a lip reader.
Right back past Howery and into center field. The tie stops at second, and Easley has his second hit of the night.
Well, here it is again. I'm going to watch his ankles. He twisted it. I don't see anything, Ron.
I don't see it in ankles.
Nope.
the center fielder.
He did have to reach way across the plate for that.
I don't see an ankle twist at all. Or, well, we're going to find out sooner or later. You see LaDuca is very concerned.
Here's Beltran with 2 on and nobody out. And he takes a strike from Howard. So Jose Reyes leaving the game here in the bottom of the 8th inning after apparently hurting his leg either on the swing or on his first stride out of the box as Beltran fouls it off.
Well, you realize how important Reyes is from the collective breath taken in this booth and taken from the stands downstairs.
Got quiet in a hurry, didn't it? Beltran is 1 for 3 and a walk tonight. That's with 12 hits now. The left field hit well. Soriano back. Gotay tags at second and moves over to third. Easily holding at first, 1 away. And here is Delgado, who's 1 for 3 and a walk tonight, and even picked up a stolen base in the 3rd inning on the back end of a double steal.
Lou Piniella wants them to check second base to see if Gotay left early.
So they're going to try an appeal play. Howery will step off after time is put back in. And the first base umpire gave the safe sign because that's his call. Eric Cooper over at first gave the safe call after Howery threw to second, which means either he didn't leave early or he wasn't watching.
7-1 ball game. You think Lou isn't competitive?
And Lou's saying you weren't watching. It's 12:42 in the morning, Lou. You got another game in 12 hours and 28 minutes.
Sleep quick tonight.
This is your favorite part of the game, isn't it, Keith?
It's not my favorite war cry. Everybody clap your hands.
Delgado fouls it back.
Oh, excuse me. Is it me? That's on me?
I thought that's
following Nissan post-game live, folks. Nets and Cavs game 5. Recap Yanks doubleheader. That was a split. More Mets post-game reaction, and I'm sure you're going to hear all about what has happened to Jose Reyes. I wasn't paying attention to my producer.
You know what's nice? It's late, and it would be really easy to doze. Your tie, every time I look at you, it wakes me up. It's so bright.
It's chartreuse.
Looks like candy.
It does.
It does. You're right.
I like this tie.
That wonderful hard candy.
Yes.
The wrapper. 0-2 to Delgado. And it's low and inside.
Maybe I need to look at it for a bit and wake up.
Well, probably you're looking at mine, which is a little more sedate. It might.
I like your
sleep.
Kai text me, my wife, text messaged me and said, Gary's tie, wow.
She likes these patterns.
Yes, she does.
He broke that out during the playoffs last year, by the way. Outstanding.
No, this is a new one.
Oh, is it?
Just got it. Yeah.
Oh.
Delgado grounds one to the right side. Ward makes the play to second as a run comes home, and that makes it 8-1. So Gotay scores. Give Delgado an RBI, his 19th, and it's 8-1.
Third baseman, David Wright.
This is the first pitch of the at-bat to Reyes. Bangs at the back of his left leg.
Yeah, yep. He's kind of kicking a little bit. He's a little tightness. Yep.
That's a good pickup.
Bill Webb does not miss much.
That's our director, folks, if you don't know who he is. I know a lot of you don't.
This is a good hour for Bill.
This is the hour he does his best business right here. 12:45.
Wright lifts one down the right field line, foul, and that'll go in the seats. And it's 0-2 to David, who's had a big night, a single and a double, a sacrifice fly, 2 RBIs. Reyes missed time with an ankle injury in 03, with a hamstring injury in 04. That was his right hamstring. But he's been essentially healthy the last 3 years. 1-2 to Wright. And there was so much talk early in Reyes' career about how he would never be a healthy player. But that talk had ceased almost completely.
Well, who's going to play shortstop if Reyes misses a few games? I'm sure Easley will move over. Go tie second base.
Yeah, that would have to be.
That's the question. I mean, Easley's a shortstop. He can play shortstop.
Yep. Easley came up as a shortstop with the Angels and still says that's his best position. 1-2 to Wright. And he gets fooled and takes an ugly hack to end the inning. But the Mets tack on a run in an inning in which they lose Reyes. The question is for how long. Wagner will come on to try and finish it off.
Baseball. It's about loyalty. It's about dedication.
It's about being champions.
Tradition.
It's about never giving up. It's about never giving up. Never ever. It's about the ballpark.
It's about superstition.
It's about recognition. It's about heroes.
It's about friendships.
It's about family.
It's about teammates.
It's about history.
It's about doing what it takes to win.
Authentic Major League Baseball jerseys, hats, and accessories, all at Dick's Sporting Goods. For a complete lineup, visit dicksportinggoods.com.
Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Kia, the presenting sponsor of the Kia Wednesday Game of the Week on Sportsnet New York. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. By Corona, kick back and relax with an ice-cold Corona. Relax responsibly. By Aflac, ask about it at work. By Nissan and the next generation Nissan Altima. And by IO Digital Cable, the leaders in HD and presenting sponsor of the Mets in high definition. Do you see in HD? Billy Wagner on to pitch the 9th inning for New York. The Mets with an 8-1 lead.
Well, he hasn't pitched in 5 days. Unscored upon in 14 of his 15 outings. Wagner getting some work, but very unusual with the quick turnaround that he'll get his work in this game here at 12:49.
Aramis Ramirez leads off the 9th inning and fouls it back. Ramirez 0 for 3 tonight after his big grand slam last night. Well, we were wondering who was going to take over at short for Reyes, whether it would be Easley or Gotay, and at least the initial answer is Gotay, with Easley staying at second. See whether it's the same tomorrow if Reyes has to sit out. 2 to Ramirez.
Do you think that has anything to do with that Damian Easley, as you see this good slider from Wagner? Damian Easley is he's locked in hitting. That you don't want to move him to another position to worry about that position and take his mind off his hitting. I don't know.
Well, if his position he prefers is shortstop and the one he's most comfortable.
Wright cuts it off and throws out Ramirez. 1 down in the 9th. In 2007, Hyundai, the Mets, and Sportsnet New York are teaming up to strike out cancer. For every K the Mets pitching staff registers, Hyundai, the Mets, and Sportsnet New York will make a donation to the Hope and Heroes Children's Cancer Fund. If you'd like to help, please go to www.hopeandheroes.org. Let's go to Kevin Burkhardt. Kevin?
Well, guys, this is totally unofficial. I was unable to get to any of the Mets trainers for a report, but I did talk to some of the personnel outside the Met clubhouse who said Reyes is walking around pretty good. Basically, what they said is that the buzz was Reyes felt a little bit of a tightness when he was up at the plate and was just scared and didn't want to run just in case. But they seem to think that he'll be okay. That seemed to be the vibe outside the clubhouse. Again, not official. We'll find it after the game. But at least according to them, it seems like it was just more of a precaution, more that he was just scared of getting hurt type of thing, and that he should be okay. We'll see.
Well, we'll cross our fingers and hope that vibe turns out to be correct. Thanks, Kevin. He's a good reporter, isn't he?
Great.
Good,
push it to the end.
Good sources. Darrell Ward takes the slider away, and it's 2-1. Here it is again. That's that first pitch.
You can see him on a left hamstring.
The way he's hitting it and stretching it out, and he was able to continue the at bat.
Maybe a cramp?
More spasm, cramp-like, yeah.
Gotay retreating, and he's got it 2 away.
Well, we talked in the open, Gary. We know that games like this, the rain delay, and I was always afraid of getting hurt in a game like this. You got a wet field, you sit down, you lose, you tighten up in air conditioning.
And your body's not used to responding to a 95-mile-an-hour fastball at 12:45 in the morning.
Michael Barrett 0 for 3. The Cubs down to their final out. And Wagner misses low with the fastball.
Guys, suggestions. Who should I get here? Easley, LaDuca? Who do you think would work? Do you care?
One and 1 to Barrett.
Oh.
Wagner trying to finish off the Cubs. 2-1. Day game tomorrow, or actually today. And we still don't know officially who's starting for the Mets in the day game. Willie's smiling. That's probably a good sign. Jason Vargas will probably get the call. He's probably asleep by now in New York, one would hope. To right center field. Beltran arranging back to the warning track. Makes the catch, and the ball game is over. Billy Wagner closes it at 12:53 a.m. with a 1-2-3 9th inning. Jorge Sosa with a magnificent performance to go to 3-0 as Lou Piniella and the Cubs have dropped 2 out of 3 in this series. But Sosa's the big story. 7 innings, 1 hit. He's now 3-0, 2.25 in his first 3 starts as the Mets win it going away 8-1.
Well, coming into the game, just so great at throwing first pitch strikes. Had 10 in a row at one point. I think it even became 12 in a row. Just outstanding job by Sosa. Good job with his fastball slider. And Damian Easley just continues to produce at that second base.
So the Mets win it 8-1. Hopes that Reyes is okay. And they'll try and go for the series win on Thursday afternoon. Back with more from Shea in a moment.